Alrighty, hello, Miss Anessa. How are you today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Excited to chat with you today here. I know that we've had a moment to kind of discuss your experience a little bit over the phone yesterday, but truly, I would love for you to kickstart our interview here and simply tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Sure, no worries. Recently, for company called Distinct Designs,
Mhm.
in the office manager's position, it was a variety of tasks each day, encompassing mostly customer service, interacting with vendors and
Mhm.
contractors, but mostly organizing the bid calendar, payroll, human resources, meaning onboarding and maintaining those files and that paperwork for, tax purposes, etc. Making sure that pay applications are followed up on and submitted in a timely manner, any invoices that needed to go out or any invoices that were coming in that needed to be paid, scheduling those or handling those, immediately depending on what the requirements were. And then, of course, just the day to day answering the phones, doing data entry, following up on, any contacts that I needed to, follow up with, and then the occasional interaction with the municipalities that, in the different areas that we worked with, for permits and notice of commencements, which are, NOCs, or notice to owners. Those are different forms and different documents that need to be submitted and, proofread,
Mhm.
notarized. I am a notary. And so all of that paperwork and, all of those tasks just flowing throughout the day.
Amazing. It sounds like you had a very busy day. I can tell by everything that you just mentioned through that. Now, I'm looking at your resume as well, Anessa, and a few roles that I want to kind of point as well is
Mhm.
prior to that, you're working as a permit coordinator. Prior to that role, a program coordinator, admin role. You say you have or had your own business as well for a few years,
Yes.
also customer service. So you have a wide variety of experience, even industry experience. You work in different type of industries,
Hmm.
so that shows for me. That shows that you're very adaptable in any environment that you're thrown into, which is incredible.
Thank you.
Um, Absolutely. And then you also mentioned your accounts receivable, accounts payable
Correct.
experience. So if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your experience with that.
Sure, no worries. For each of the companies, I feel like a lot of the tasks are interchangeable, meaning that even though they're in different industries, bills still need to get paid. You want to get paid. And so for accounts receivable and accounts payable, just maintaining that calendar of invoices coming in, invoices going out, making sure that, staying organized and sensitive to those deadlines and those due dates, writing checks or paying online, depending on what the payment method is that's being set up. Beyond that, any budgeting. The budgeting aspect has been on my part more limited, an experience. I am more of the, I'm assuming there's money in that account and I'm going to pay out until you tell me to stop.
There you go. Well, that's incredible. And as far as total experience wise with accounts, or I would say accounting nonetheless,
Mhm.
how many years of experience total do you have with that?
Right. So, going back years and years and years, my family has been involved in ownership of more than one company,
Mhm.
specifically. And so I've been, like involved and, kind of getting my feet wet in accounting and accounts payable, et cetera, payroll, all those things for, since early on in my 20s. But more specifically, into my 30s, being responsible for general manager tasks, and then of course office management for smaller companies. I have dealt with larger companies, specifically the Hawthorne Suites Golf Resort. But I would say going on 25 years, for financials, customer service, probably much longer than that.
That's incredible. You have, the skill set for a wide variety of roles, kind of like what I told you prior to the recording here. You're suitable for accounting roles, you're suitable for administrative roles, even office manager positions. So that's why I'm truly excited to have this conversation with you today. I
Okay.
want to backtrack a little bit in reference to systems that you have used,
Sure.
whether it's using for the accounts receivable, payable, or even just your general administrative systems.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Specifically, the most common would be QuickBooks, ADP for payroll, a little bit of invoicing. Usually, there's also a payroll company called Medina, but usually each company has their own CRM, a customer relations management program or software that they are more comfortable using. For the trades industry, usually that's something like Service Titan or Jobber, which I am both very familiar with. Some use House Pro. I have not used House Pro, but a lot of times CRMs are the interfaces are different, but the information, the overall usual tasks are the same. It's just a matter of getting familiar with where you want the names and contact information, and what section you're going to use or what tab you're going to toggle to for payment or for technician's notes, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with me. Now, a little bit about the administrative systems, if you don't mind sharing that with me. Now, I know you said some systems are, of course, are customer or employer based.
Mhm.
But if you don't mind sharing, your experience with perhaps the Google or even the
Oh, sure.
Microsoft.
Right, absolutely. So any of the Microsoft suites, the Google Workspace, all of those, I'm very proficient in using, Excel and Google Docs and Google Sheets and um, Word, all those are pretty much a day-to-day involvement. Some companies prefer Microsoft over Google, vice versa. Some actually would prefer their own software. Maybe they have something like Service Flow where they've had a program written specifically for them. But yeah, Microsoft and Google are are pretty much a standard,
That's
but I'm
right.
very
That's right.
proficient.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with me. Really, the last question I have for you, Anessa, is how soon were you looking to start a new position?
Sure. So obviously for office positions, a lot of times you want to start fresh on a Monday. I'm available
Absolutely.
this coming Monday. I believe that's the 24th.
Yep.
However, I do know that their Thanksgiving holiday is coming up that same week. And I've already, made uh, arrangements. I will be out of town for that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I mean, as early as tomorrow, I don't have any pre obligations, but just to be, sensitive to
Yeah.
professionalism and the holiday and the way the weeks work. But um, I hate to say I'm available ASAP, but I mean, technically I am.
Yeah, yeah. We can definitely, I would say, because as you mentioned, the holidays or time off,
Right.
I would say a projected start date of December 1st, if anything, just so we have, the rest of this week, which is really two more
Absolutely.
days. Next
Right,
week,
right.
time off. And then so starting fresh, December 1st.
Sure.
So I'll definitely connect with, a few clients that I have here. And now I do want to go ahead and just for one, thank you for the time that you spent with me.
Sure.
Anessa, it's been a pleasure getting to know your professional experience. So
Thank you.
absolutely. I want to go ahead and just pause this recording, but if you don't mind staying in line for me really quickly, I want to chat with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.